Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Right. Okay. All right, everybody. All right. All right. Y'all see what this is about. So we're doing a part two. I have so much stuff to cover. I am sorry that you guys haven't heard from me over the past couple days. Maybe y'all needed a break from Mr. Z. Mr. Z be long-winded and talk a lot, so I gotta, give y'all a break sometimes. From me and my foolishness. Okay. So yeah. So Nick Fuentes. Once again, we're speaking about Nick Fuentes on Fresh and Fit. Um, and the conversation he had with the young ladies, as I was saying on BGS's channel the other day. Nick Fuentes walks into that studio and takes off the heads of what, 6, 7 women? How many women were on that panel? Right now, the young lady with the glasses, I think what her name, something like that. This is the young lady that was kissing him on the cheek. She did a mea culpa of now I guess she's on the apology tour, and O'Shea Duke Jackson covered it. I should actually link that in my description also. I'll try to put that in the description also later on. And she was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't articulate as I usually am, and I'm not into politics, and I didn't. One of those, like, I didn't really understand what was going on. I was just so hyped. There's something to be said about that. But as O'Shea covered, you encourage them to say the N-word. So all of that is fine and dandy. Okay, you know what? You were excited. You were, and you see this when people get starstruck, right? There's so many videos and pictures of people being starstruck and acting out of character. We've seen it. Some of us that grow up or that's been in major cities or been around celebrities. You see the people that literally faint. You see the people that just they're throwing themselves on these people. I mean, let us remember the lady, I think she was Jamaican, that was crawling on her knees to Charles. I refuse to call him whatever his royal title is. Screw that. Charles. We'll just say Charles. Right? We've seen the video of her crawling on her knees. You see all type of craziness that people engage in when the camera is on or when a celebrity is in their presence. And so yes, Nick Fuentes is a foaming at the mouth white supremacist just because he's articulate. I mean, like, this is your classic James Crow Jr., right? Esquire. So Jim Crow, you're used to the white guy with the N-word Tourette's, right? But when his son walk in the room, James Crow Jr. Esquire with the nice fitted suit, then all of a sudden you don't think he's a white racist, and he might have had sex with 1 or 2 black women before, right? And he might have slummed it and smoked with black dudes before. So all of a sudden you don't understand that James Crow Jr. thinks the same thing about you that his dad does. Right? Because he's in a fitted suit and he had sex with a couple of black women, and he might have 1 or 2 black associates that he doesn't throw up in their face every time he's around them because he's not as outwardly disgusted. But Nick Fuentes already told you what he thinks. Right? He said it on the panel. Nick Fuentes was in a room full of black women. One of them being an educator, the light-skinned young lady with the Jewish, and he made sure he never said, "Oh, you're with the white man." He always made sure to tell her, "Jewish." Young lady, if you don't understand who Nick Fuentes is and why he never called your probably white Jewish boyfriend white, there's something that he's telling you something, right? So Nick Fuentes is on this panel full of black women, and he takes all of their heads off. All of them. Y'all let this one, and he's intelligent. I've been knowing about Nick Fuentes since Charlottesville, right? Train tracks. I've been knowing about Nick Fuentes for a while. He's not a dummy. At this point, he's an autodidact, and don't y'all sleep on the autodidacts, right? Because Edward Snowden, in many ways, is an autodidact also. Don't y'all sleep on him. Right? Because he didn't go back to school after the whole Charlottesville thing. Well, last time I checked, I don't know if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, right? So y'all let this ostensibly college dropout take all of your heads off, including the educator. You're an educator, lady. Y'all let Nick Fuentes sit up there and play down slavery as if 1/3 of this country didn't own slaves, something like that, right? And the people that didn't aspire to. Y'all let Nick Fuentes play down the fact that the entire Western economy was built off of slavery coming from the Americas, and especially, particularly, America. As American slavery really took hold, it wasn't just America. America was shipping cotton all over the place. You have insurance companies, companies that still exist to this day, who found their seed money in American slavery. The railroads, American slavery. The way the oil magnates that were able to get loans from banks, slavery. And y'all let Nick Fuentes sit on that panel and play down slavery in front of y'all. Right? Now, side note, pause right here. We all knew Tariq Nasheed was going to blame this on some tethers. and he didn't say all of them, right? But he made sure to emphasize the ones of the black women that weren't ADOS or FBA. He didn't say all. It was like, well, most of them are tethers. Excuse me. Most of them are tethers. And so I guess because most of them are tethers, which by the way, I did not confirm. I don't know if that's true. Just because Tariq Nasheed is saying it. But because most of them are tethers, the ones that are not, we just not gonna count them. Or they're mixed, right? Okay, yeah, Tariq. Right? Y'all just refuse to acknowledge and admit that black women will fall for white dudes, even openly racist white dudes. It's easy to say you pro-black when you feel like white boys ain't checking, and when they're not in your presence. Are you still pro-black when white men are in your presence and it look like you might have a shot at them? Shit, maybe you don't even have a shot at them. Nick Fuentes told y'all he was a flaming racist, and y'all took that and laughed it off. Right? We already know what Fresh and Fit are on. They get no passes over here. We understand. We know what they're on. But for you ladies to be on a panel with Nick Fuentes, including the Haitian young woman that was sitting to his right on the screen, the one that was wearing the blue, right? All y'all get indignant when he tell y'all why he's not for race mixing. And the light-skinned young lady were like, I call it interracial dating. Whatever, bro. Nobody care, bro. Nobody care about you and your Jewish boyfriend. Stop it. You on the panel with this white racist dude, and y'all let this white racist dude. I will give the young lady this though, the light-skinned young lady. She was the one shaking her head no when the rest of them were encouraging him to say the N-word. She was the one. She looked disgusted. I'll give her that. She looked disgusted. She was shaking her head no. Right? But the rest of the panel thought it was funny. Right? It's funny to the rest of the panel to have the out-and-out white racist saying the N-word. Right? And so to that I say, you get what you get. So now y'all getting backlash and everybody's trying to cop please. Right? And by the way, to everyone, this is the goal of the education system right now in America. And excuse me if y'all can't hear me right now, I am on a road that I'm usually not on. So if it's coming on a little choppy, give me a second. I will repeat what I'm saying, right? But this is the goal of the education system right here. Your black children, they will be in the face of out and out white supremacist racists. And they will be uninformed, ill-informed, and not know how to respond. I didn't say react, right? The open white supremacists took that. How many women were up there? 6, 7? And y'all let this guy take off. Wow. Because y'all don't really understand what y'all dealing with. Y'all don't really understand what y'all dealing with. Or worse, you do and you're cowards. Or you do and you want it. Right? So the white racist dude, Nick Fuentes, you know, and the young lady was saying how her brother told her off and like pretty much told her, yo, you're the representation for every black person. I thought this was known to black. You know what? Black people then got way too comfortable in the presence of white folks with your guard down. In the presence of anybody not black with your guard down. Y'all got way too comfortable. Mr. Z looks at every single conversation with a non-black person as an act of war. Y'all don't even hear Mr. Z sound like this. Ask any Asian, Latino, white person I ever talked to, they'd be like, God damn, Z. I'm giggling. Y'all saw me when I was on there with Laura. I'm giggling in her face. I threw it in her face. Yeah, what y'all expect? White people, yeah, y'all want this position. Yeah, the Latino guy that you got an accident with. Oh, by the way, if y'all don't know who I'm referring to when I said Laura was the white woman that I was on the talk with Shay Sade. Yeah, I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, like y'all usually hear Mr. Z sound. And what I threw in her face. Oh yeah, the Latino dude got an accident with you and he tried to take you for your money. Yeah, what y'all thought? Y'all white. Y'all keep on telling us y'all got all the money, so whenever there's a situation in this, y'all like, oh yeah, we're gonna try to take y'all for your money. What else I throw in her face? Yeah, black women, Latina women, Asian women plotting on white dudes. Of course they are. White dudes told us they're the best thing since sliced bread. But way too many black people got y'all got y'all guard down. Y'all be laughing and kiki and kaka and be sincere with it. Not even on some plotting thing. I'm not saying you're supposed to be, you know, ultra aggressive with them all the time. No, this is their society. They still got the power and the influence. I understand. But y'all just way too comfortable, way too much with y'all guard down. And I'm saying this as a black person that legitimately had a white friend, had and has white associates, where white people have genuinely looked out for Mr. Z. What that mean? Y'all way too man. Nick Fuentes, and then that's what makes it even worse is Nick Fuentes is telling you who he is. He's telling you who he is. Even if you didn't know, from the second he started explaining his position and his worldview, you didn't understand who Nick Fuentes is? So my question to all the black women under the sound of my voice, what was the point of your education? Uh-oh. For the educated that was in the room with the Jewish boyfriend, what's the point? If college dropout Nick Fuentes could take your head off. Jewish boyfriend ain't doing you too well, neither is that degree. To all the rest of you that's some type of aspiring entertainers and whatever y'all doing, what's the point? If you live in a white supremacist society and when you're in the presence of the white dude, you can't even give him a piece of your mind. That's one thing I will give some black women from back in the past when they were in the presence of the white dude that was ripping their head off verbally. I don't see y'all not even doing that. The only time y'all get indignant is when the white man tell you he's not interested in you. Literally, when he started explaining why, yeah, I find black women attractive too. I find all different type of, but I can't. I wouldn't date y'all because I'm Catholic and I'm a virgin and I don't believe in race mixing and da da da. That's when y'all get indignant. So this goes back to a question I posed forever ago, and if Toya's here, she'll remember me saying it. Do black women understand white supremacy if white men ain't telling you they're not attracted to you? Is that the only time you understand it, is when it comes to whether a white man, a Latino man, or even a black man, an Arab man, or an indigenous man, whoever it is, South Asian, whoever it is, when they tell you they're not attracted to you or your darker features or your kinkier hair? Is that the only time you're like, oh, colorism, oh, racism? Everything else you don't see it, huh? So if they're not telling you they're not attracted to you, you don't get it. Or they are attracted to you, but you don't got a time of day they would never marry you because white supremacy. Because I want to have children that look like me, so we could continue and perpetuate white supremacy. Do y'all even understand why Nick Fuentes wouldn't date one of you? You think it just stays at that surface level he explained? Or you know what? You didn't read into it what he was really saying. Yeah, there's black women I would bang if I wasn't, trying to be a virgin and continue being a virgin until marriage. There's white women I would bang. Excuse me. There's black women I would have sex with. But I would never try to take y'all any type of serious, because I need to have white kids so we can perpetuate white society and white supremacy. The fact that y'all on a panel with this man and you still don't get it. So if it was somebody that wasn't so overtly white supremacist, then you really would have had your guards down. So anything short of like foaming at the mouth, inward Tourette's, y'all don't get it, huh? And this is the goal of this society, to raise a bunch of wannabe white folks, essentially, where the white person has to be cartoonishly, or the non-black person has to be cartoonishly anti-black for black people to get it. They have to be cartoonishly anti-black. So overt it hurts. And anything short of that, that's frightening. That these women, a couple of them, the young lady that gave Nick Fuentes a kiss on the cheek, she's a mother. She's a mother. And once again, the light-skinned young lady on the opposite end, she's an educator. Oh my God. Then you wonder why your daughters end up unalived in some white man's house, or why your gay sons end up unalived in some white man's house. Because these are their freaking parents and their teachers. These are their black female parents and their black female teachers. You know what me and Shay Sade didn't do when Lauren was on that panel? Encourage her to say the damn N-word. All of y'all sat up there, encouraged this dude to say the N-word, except for the young lady at the end, the light-skinned young lady with the Jewish boyfriend. Then the other one, I think she says she's Haitian, Dominican, something and something another. The more chunky one at the end. Oh well, sitting next to the light skinned young lady. Nick Fuentes don't hear none of that. By the way, all of you that's trying to make the distinction, well, I'm Nigerian, I'm Haitian, I'm Jamaican. Nick Fuentes and his oak don't hear none of that. Distinction without a difference. They don't hear nothing. Say what? Say what again, N-word? Wow. And I'm pretty sure the young lady at the end wasn't the only mother on the panel. But let's say she was. You have an educator on one side, a mother on the other side, a bunch of other black women. Y'all on the panel with one white man. That's only one. You're on the panel with one white man. And this one white man took the head off of every black woman on that damn show. Right? So what about if it would have been 2 or 3 white men? Or 4 or 5? Half a dozen, a dozen. That's frightening, people. And I might be going in a bit of a dead zone for the next couple minutes, so I'm going to continue to talk, but I might have to repeat myself. Y'all just let me know, right? But yeah. Right? A panel full of, like I said, wait, 6 or 7 black women there? And Nick Fuentes. Right? So what about if y'all had Jared Taylor and Richard Spencer and what's the other one? The other one from Louisiana, right? So this is, once again, this is where Jason Pope come from. No wonder on the grapevine, Uchechi and them and Ashley and them were like so surprised when Charlottesville happened. Nick Fuentes was literally, he was like, he has one of the most famous pictures taken of him of that debacle, we'll say. That racist hoedown, right? So you're just waiting for a white dude to literally walk up with the hoodie, with a KKK. It has to be that overt. It has to be that overt. So if they wear khakis and, you know, nice slim slacks and a nice, you know, one size too small button up shirt, y'all don't understand who this is. That's walking up to y'all. He has the comb over, right? The Anderson Cooper comb over. Y'all don't understand this is a white supremacist walking up to y'all. Once again, James Crow Jr. So as long as James Crow Jr. is not overtly foaming at the mouth racist like Jim Crow Sr., y'all don't get it. Or you do get it and you're cowards. Or you do get it and you're hoping to be his, what? His black mistress? Do y'all understand how frightening this is? Right? That's why I titled this what I titled it. One white guy walks into the room. One. And this also speaks to like white dudes and how they talk about black people, particularly black women. Black women, if y'all don't know, white dudes think y'all the dumbest people on the face of the earth. Ask the brothers in my comment chat. You think they think we're dumb? You think they think black men are dumb? They think black women are, especially when they blowing smoke up y'all butt. When you the backbone of the Democratic Party, and then y'all throw that in black men's face, and white guys are like, they're so gullible, right? Nick Fuentes walked out of that like, of course. You had the two dummies that bought me on, fresh and fit. Then you got a table full of black women. I took all their head off. The whole black contingent is retarded. Right? Fresh and fit and his guys bring me on. So that's what, 2, 3, 4 black men. Then I'm on the panel with what, another 6, 7 black women. I take all their heads off. Right? And KW Don says, and thank you for the super chat, there are no more sister soldiers. There's not. You saw Sister Soldier every time she was on a talk show or something. No, she would go at other black people for not being on her level, let alone the white people that was part of the panel or the conversation. Right? I don't know how many because the sister soldiers always want to tell you about their sexuality. As if no, dear black women, dear black women, white women in white society use your sexuality to disarm you. They don't care about what vagina you licking. They'll act like they care though, so that you can emphasize that part and we can never get to the race part. For us marginalized groups and us minorities, the LGBTQIA, yeah, we don't got no sister soldiers no more. But Sister Soldier ain't tell you what she was doing in the bedroom all the damn time with whoever she was doing it with. Because so many younger black people under the age of like 45, 40, they really bought into this idea of like, well, I'm an intersectionalize my way to death, and that way I'll come off less threatening to the white powers that be, and they'll let me in the door. If I come off less threatening, the light-skinned young lady, she was well-mannered. She spoke proper. She enunciated her words. She had good diction. She even had good form. Look at the way she sit down. Look how she sat. What that mean? Nick Fuentes threw you in the lump with all the rest of them on the panel. That didn't mean anything. Nothing. Jewish boyfriend. Nothing. You're on the train to Auschwitz with the rest of them. All of you trying to play it safe in the face of white supremacy. Don't give a damn about your damn sexuality. Actually, yes, it does. Oh, let Mr. Z say it encourages you to do the LGBTQ thing. Less black children for them. It encourages you to do the LGBTQ thing. Less black nuclear families. Less structure. Yeah, black women, go freestyle and do whatever you want to do. With whoever you want to do it with. Well, don't worry. We'll have all the stability and the structure over here. You go ahead and live free and fast. Oh, and not all of our men have to be millionaires and billionaires and earn six figures for us to have the structure either. As I said before, white men are getting white women together. End of affirmative action, repeal of Roe versus Wade, not cutting the check for student loan debt. Oh, they getting white women together. And black women, and I saw that article too. Shout out to BGS who referenced, all the layoffs that happened and all the firings that happened since I think the article since April. 90% of it were black people. 90%. Black people only make up what 12, 13% of the country. 90%. Sister Soldier would have had something to say about that. These newfangles, nope. They too busy telling you to become a millionaire so they can live off of you. Cowards. They too busy laughing and kiki and caca with Nick Fuentes. Right? And Kevin C says, and thank you for the super chat, Kevin. Kevin C says, I can't listen to Nick Fuentes distort and lie about Black American, U.S., or world history. He needs to stick to race issues and politics and current events. Bro. But Nick Fuentes could get away with that. I had a white dude try to pull that stunt on me, try to play down slavery. And excuse my language, I said, oh, you got to tell the South that. Because every state that seceded from the Union say, yeah, we trying to keep our niggas. And I said it to him just like that. And I purposely said the N-word. Every single southern state that seceded from the Union pretty much said, yeah, we trying to keep our southern way of life. And our southern way of life means us on top and us standing on Negroes. But he thought he could pull that with me because he didn't know I knew. So Nick Fuentes could say that because let me see what they know. Let me see what the pushback is. And the pushback was the same old tired black people, please. Black people, please. It can't look, the one white dude, it can't be this easy for him to just walk into the panel, take heads off, and then walk out. What? You don't even put up no fight. So of course he could, Kev, of course he could play down slavery and Jim Crow and redlining. He played down all of it. And Mr. Z, although I'm a history buff, I don't know. I'm embarrassed sometimes when I'm like, oh crap, I didn't know that. But Nick Fuentes, this wasn't even like Final Form Freezer. This wasn't even that. This wasn't, right? This was lightweight. This was lightweight. And lightweight Nick Fuentes was able to go on a panel. First of all, be invited on a panel by black men. See, this is the... I can kind of understand now more why certain lefties really say, yo, I'm not for debate. Because right now, we're put in the position as black people to debate your humanity, to debate your contribution to American society, to debate racism and white supremacy. It's pretty damn dehumanizing and cringy, actually. To debate American history and its effects on you still to this day. Right? Your mere humanity, your existence, your contribution is all up for debate. And this, social media debate, bro culture, people take people take positions they don't even stand on just for the fun of it, just for the thrill of the intellectual sparring. And for black people's history in America to be part of the discourse with that, ugh. And then for some 12-year-old white boy to see this and think it's funny, and then they're gonna run across your child one day telling your child, "Oh, slavery wasn't that serious. So all y'all did was pick cotton." It's not like the entire U.S. economy wasn't built off of it, and much of the Western European economy. It's not like that. It's not like we didn't have a real war, where real people die over maintaining slavery because the South wanted to secede from the Union. The Southern states wanted to secede from the Northern states, and the Northern states was still racist. The South was like, y'all not racist enough. Y'all let y'all Negroes speak and have opinions up there. Y'all let Nick Fuentes go there and give a false account of American history, of black history, and the pushback was what? This should be a lesson to all of our friends and family that say, "Oh, I'm not political. I don't watch news. Documentaries, news is depressing. I don't watch documentaries. Why are you watching this? This is boring." And then you're in a life or death situation with someone like Nick Fuentes. How do you think that's going to turn out? And then you're in a debate with someone like Nick Fuentes about your humanity and history. How do you think that's going to turn out? Let me get this right. So Nick Fuentes know your history better than you. So he knows how to make comments, test the water, see what you know, and then systematically destroy you about your own history. A table full of black people. The two black men on there are giddy as hell to watch Nick Fuentes tear down black women. That's why Mr. Z has a limit to how I speak about black women. Two black men, but think about it. Two black men. I know they're different backgrounds. I understand. I know where y'all going. I know Myron. We had the conversation about Myron. I understand. But ostensibly, two black men bought on a white racist person. Last minute, tell black women that the white racist is on the panel with them, and then the white man systematically takes off the heads of every black woman there, and the two black men are giddy about it, and the table full of black women don't even see that as an issue, and now they taking a group photo with the goddamn white racist. If y'all were so offended, then why the hell y'all took a group photo after the fact? Because you weren't. This reminds Mr. Z of the Clippers situation, right? With Donald Sterling. Those Clippers players always knew who Donald Sterling was. You just were embarrassed when the rest of the world knew who Donald Sterling was. You were willing to play and you were willing to do all this as long as the rest of your family and friends them didn't understand the Faustian bargain you were signing or that you did sign. Same thing with these women. Now they feel embarrassed. If the black community didn't make us think about it, they would have went about their way. Huh. No, Nick Fuentes tested the water. He read the water accurately, and he was correct. The light-skinned young lady with the Jewish boyfriend, too worried about her diction and how she speak, and to come off proper because I don't want to come out of character. The Haitian, Dominican, whatever the hell, the chunky one, too busy worried about being an exotical. Well, I'm not like them Negroes over there. The Haitian one that was sitting next to him in the blue, too worried about partying and all this. You could see it. Was there a picture of her twerking on him? I think maybe Mr. Z is imagining things. That's possible. Then the other one that's a mother, she's so worried about one-liners. The one that O'Shea Duke Jackson covered, she's so worried about one-liners. She don't really understand. Like, no, this is way deeper. You don't understand what this man is really telling you. He wants to bring back a more overt caste system in America. This little lightweight Jim Crow 2.0 that we've been living for the past 50, 60 years. No. Can we revert back to slavery? If not slavery, can we revert back to Jim Crow 1.0? See, when we were saying earlier that it's very possible that they're going to go after every single one of these kind of statutes or laws or anything that kind of give black people just a semblance of a leg up. When we said that, y'all thought, no. I said it maybe what 5-6 months ago now. Then and now it's a channel on YouTube, White British Cat. He covered Vladimir Putin in one of his videos. It's in my community tab actually. And he spoke about those of us in the West that have this idea of constant progression. Like if you just let things go, they're just going to progress in the proper direction anyway. You don't even got to really put any effort in. If you put in the effort, it's going to do it even more and faster, but you don't even have to put in effort. Right? Think of Martin Luther King. The arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. This is the one thing I disagree with, and rest in peace, Dr. Martin Luther King. The one thing I disagree with Dr. Martin Luther King in, and this might be the nihilism in Mr. Z, but no, I actually don't think the arc of history bends towards justice. I think every once in a while you have a super strong MFer that bends it in the right direction, but it could go any way. And I'm tying that to the subject at hand by saying this idea that things can revert back to a dark, ugly place and really fast. That's why the Grapevine panel was so surprised with the Charlottesville situation. And Ashley was like, "Oh my God, I can't. You can't what? Believe that white men are gonna white men? That white people are gonna white people? Oh, because they got comb overs and they're speaking well and they don't sound like dumb hicks and they look like a couple of white guys that you used to flirt with back in school, which you think they're not racist? Some of these look like some of the white guys you used to talk to and you have to do group projects with in college, and maybe some of the white guys you might have threw some vagina at. So you don't think they're anti-black? That's why you clutching your invisible pearls? Right? And shout out to all you immigrants and children of immigrants who's raising your children that black Americans are making all of this up. Okay. All right. You'll see. Right? And better uses, and thank you for the super chat, better uses. What do you expect? There's been folks exposed to the debased rhetoric about their men for years. How do you value someone who ain't ish or you don't need, bro? And this is why I keep on saying, like, these people are cowards. These people are cowards. For these sisters, they're uninformed and they're cowards. Right? Nick Fuentes was on there, took y'all head off, and y'all let him. Because for the past 5 and 6 decades, all black women have been concerned about is how black men ain't ish, and how black men ain't Bill Wakanda, and how black men haven't put them in the position to look down on white women, and how black men haven't put them in the position so that white men want black women the way white men get Asian women. Ooh, goddamn. For the past few decades, that's all many, especially black women in academia, the first thing they want to do is get their degree, tell black men how they don't need them, stick the middle finger up, go live their negative liberty life. Dibble and dabble in the LGBTQ lifestyle. Do everything in the world not to be labeled. I don't want to have labels. Right? So yeah, of course, if they spent so many years listening to Black Men Ain't Ish music, consuming that content, going to school, hearing their professors talk about it like that, their homegirls talk about it like that, then when the white racist man is in their face, they don't really got nothing for them because they haven't been training to go to battle with white racist people. They've been trained to go to battle with black men. Chrissy, if you want to know what's dangerous about your rhetoric, Exhibit A. Yanni, if you want to know what's dangerous about your rhetoric, Exhibit A. Lexus Exodus had to make a whole video. This is a whole neo-Nazi. She had to make a whole video about, okay, sometimes the white racists, right? Cynthia G, well, Cynthia G already told you she's trying to destroy the black community, so she don't really care what happened to black women, honestly. Paris Milan doing it for the money, she don't really care neither. But to all you ladies from Divest the Zell, all of you women that purport Shira 7, all of you that purport to care about black women, if you want to know why your rhetoric against black men is so dangerous, it's because you hyper focus on how black men ain't ish, and then black women end up in conversations, in life or death situations, in competition with, open competition with white men, white women, and this is what happens. One white man able to take off the heads of an entire panel of black women. Because all y'all do is train them to be materialistic, consumerist a-holes and hate black men. And this is the result, Yanni. And this is the result, Chrissy. And this is the result, Paris. And this is the result, Kim Foster. Goddamn. And this is the result, Khadijah. All your little think pieces and your little video essays that black women consume by the hundreds of thousands, and they have nothing to show for it because when they're in the room with white power, they fold. So what was the point? Years of video essays, years of commentary about how black men ain't ish. And when black women are in the room with white power, they don't even put up much of a challenge. They fold. They fold so bad that they take a group goddamn picture with the white power in the room. They kiss white power on the cheek. They think they're going to respectability their way out of white power to the young lady with the Jewish boyfriend. They're going to twerk their way out of white power. Mr. Z not even on the respectability thing. Y'all hear Mr. Z? But damn. Y'all, y'all, y'all proved to Nick Fuentes that so many of the negative stereotypes he have about black people, black women, namely, is true. They're not as educated as they think they are. They're not as witty as they think they are. They're not as knowledgeable as they think they are. Little old me was able to take off all it, bro. Mr. Z worked with Ivy League graduates back in 2016 when I was working for the Florida Democratic Party. Kids that came from UCLA, Yale, Harvard. I'm not joking. Real graduates, or they were attending the school at that time. This would have never slid. And this was Mr. Z at what, 28 years old? 29, 30 years old. 29, 30, yeah. Huh. And a panel full of women. And that was Mr. Z by himself. And a panel full of black women let this one white dude take their head off. Because all y'all focused on is how black men ain't ish. It's not until the white man tell you, yeah, I don't know about dating black women. That's when y'all get indignant. Man, if y'all don't get the entire hell out of here. Right? And Detroit, thank you for the super chat. And Detroit says, Nick and black women history are ass booty back trash. There's nothing accurate about that. Look, Nick could get away with it because they weren't pushing back anyway. What was their real pushback? It was that the same BS that comes from a lot of black people that don't do their research. We built this country, but how? When after you say we built this country, he says actually, and I know Mr. Z is Mr. Actually. I say actually for everything. And y'all let Nick Fuentes get off of actually on y'all. For those of you that don't understand, the actually dot dot dot, and then you go into your diatribe. And Nick Fuentes pulled off a actually, y'all were marginal at best in American development. That's essentially what Nick Fuentes said to that panel. Not even marginal. Y'all were inconsequential. Y'all let the white guy sit up there and tell a room full of black people they were inconsequential and helping to build America, when there wouldn't be an America without black people. Nick Fuentes pretty much looked y'all in the face and said, y'all were nothing but cotton pickers. Inconsequential. It's not that serious. Y'all didn't contribute that much. The stock market in America, the way we police in America, insurance companies in America, the railroads in America, even the factory plant, all black people, either by force, knowledge, wisdom, somehow contributed to. Let alone the untold amount of inventions that black people came up with, and then the slave master got to own it as his own. And Nick Fuentes sat up there and told y'all, meh, and y'all ate it. Right? So yeah, Detroit didn't. He doesn't have to be accurate. He know he's on a panel with people that's not. They don't really got nothing for him. And and this speaks to like a sizable portion of black women and their supposed wittiness and what it look like when they go up against somebody that's like, yeah, that's cute. Nope. All that one-liners and quick wit and I always got to answer for everything. What that mean to this white man? That's cute. I said it before. White men don't see none of that wittiness. Those one-liners. He know you don't miss. You not saying nothing. And that's just one. Y'all let one white man. I don't care what school he went to. Y'all let one bunch of black women from various different backgrounds. Y'all let this one white man take y'all head off. Right? And Global Free Agent, thank you for the super chat. And Global Free Agent says, yes, exactly. Things can revert back fast. Cannot let our guards down. We have not made it yet as a people. Far from it. History would show you this, bro. If we were on a constant trajectory forward, there would have never been a fall of the Egyptian Empire or ancient Sumeria, right? Or the Indian Empire or the Persians, the Greeks, Romans. Western Europe would have never went through a dark age, but there would have never been a fall of Rome, right? The Chinese wouldn't have their what they call it, what the century of embarrassment or something like that, when the Europeans just pretty much came in, kicked the door, took everything. All of these things it just would have been a constant progress forward. Black people across the diaspora wouldn't be going through what we're going through now. There would have still been an ancient Nubia, right? But you know, we don't question these things, so we end up speaking to James Crow Jr., not realizing we're talking to James Crow Jr. because we think we've progressed past the era where young white folks can be anti-black. You might be prepared for Jim Crow, and I really don't even think y'all were prepared for Jim Crow. Or you might have contingency plans for Jim Crow, but what about when Jim Crow sends his son in the room? Now what? Like I said earlier, James Crow Jr. is fit. He has the Anderson Cooper hat comb over, the fitted slacks, the button up shirt that's one size too small, that shows his pecs and his six pack, right? Or he's wearing an expensive suit and he drives an expensive European luxury car, and now your guards are down. Now your guards down. Or worse, your guard isn't down, but you still want to give him some vagina anyway. Goddamn. You just hoping he don't call you inward in the process. Oh, let's do one better. Let's be honest. We live in the real world. You just hoping your friends and family don't find out he called you the N-word. There we go. Huh. And he essentially called you N-words when he said you really ain't contribute anything. Your history is inconsequential at best. He pretty much called you the N-word. Dear black women on the panel, if you didn't understand what Nick Fuentes was saying, right? And thank you for the super chat. No placeholder. And no placeholder says, you see the true black women in college, a 304 and a white supremacist. Bro, I bet. I bet. Look, I, I told you, I've had conversations with white folks. I've had conversations with white folks that I'm pretty sure they're damn anti-black. Right? And after the one conversation they have with you, and you take their head off, they're like, depending on the white folks, they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. Let me see if it was a fluke or not. They try one more time and they never tried again. Or they tried that one time and they never tried again. They'll talk to you about anything else if they don't completely avoid you. They'll talk to you about anything else but politics, race, and history. Right? Barry Little said Nick Fuentes is an effeminate alt-right gerbil. And yet he was able to do that. So what about if they were in the room with Richard Spencer or Jared Taylor? Right? What about if they were in the room with somebody like that? Or what's the other one, the chubby one with the glasses? What's it? He got a weird long name. I think it started with a W. I forgot his name. He was at Charlottesville too, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of them. Their faces are in my head, but I can't remember their names. There's at least another half a dozen of the younger white supremacists, right? There's the one with the eye patch. There's Charlie Kirk. There's Ben Shapiro wannabe white ass, right? There's the other one that looks like a military dude. He's blonde and he's kind of built. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, Mr. Z keeps loose tabs on these people. Loose tabs. I don't follow them everywhere. I don't follow them even once a month. But every once in a while, I'll peek in, see what they had going on for the past few months, and then I'm out. All right. Oh yeah, Milo. Of course, Milo Yiannopoulos. Of course, yeah. Da mentioned Milo. Yeah, not Richard Spencer. Better you. Not Richard Spencer. Right. So yeah, so that to me, to Mr. Z, that was the frightening part. Is that y'all and who said it just now? Wait a minute. Let me read that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Who said that? Oh, I missed it already. But yeah, so they encouraged him. They encouraged him to say the N-word. I think that's the guy's name, Dan Crenshaw. Let me look him up while I'm here with you guys. Wait a minute. We're gonna find out right now if that is his name. Give me 1 second. That might be the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the one with the eye patch. Yeah, that's the one with the eye patch. Yeah. But I was talking about the blonde kind of built dude. TYT, I think, interviewed him also once. The guy that I'm talking about, at one of these alt right meetings, the blonde one. I think he's blonde. Whatever. Anyway, moral of the story is, black people, we don't have the luxury. We don't have the luxury of not knowing, or at least having a good 5, 6 rattle them off talking points for these type of people. And it does matter. By the way, the talking and the debating does matter, because it is an act of war. You may not see it as an act of war. It is, because all you do when they defeat you so easily is confirm to them why you shouldn't be in university or college anyway. It's a waste. Yo, by the way, y'all let him borderline get away with like bell curve talk. How did I forget to mention that? Y'all let him get away with borderline bell, what's his Murray bell curve talk. Do y'all even understand? Oh my God. Oh, when I saw that part, how did I forget to mention that? Y'all let Nick Fuentes get away with borderline bell curve talk. For those of you that don't know, the bell curve, the IQ test bell curve, right? Pretty much saying black people are like 2 points smarter than apes. Right? No, better you. Yeah, that is the eye patch guy that I was talking about. That is him. That is him. No, I was talking about another one also. The one I was saying that was more built, and that looked like he was military. That was blonde. But yeah, yeah, and this is why it matters, right? So, and it's not just Fresh and Fit. It's the Hodge twins. It's Fresh and Fit. There's a couple of these weird old black people. What's the other conservative one that got a large YouTube channel right now? I think he actually is calling himself the Black Conservative. I can't remember. There's a bunch of these weirdo people right now, and I'm on this part to all my conservative brethren. I'm not trying to get on y'all just for being conservative. That's not the part of this, part of the conversation. But it's to say these weirdos that like they're so hard up on whatever their political affiliation is or whatever deals they have with these particular type of white folks that they don't. Let me say this because I've said it before. Let me say it again. I will not say that black women ain't throw black men under the bus. I will not say that black women ain't sell out. I will say this though. Black women are not the final boss, y'all. And anybody that thinks black women are the final boss, you got this all the way messed up. I'm not saying they're not trying to stab you in the back. I'm not saying any of that. But they're not the final boss. They're not. Charles Murray, thank you, Naima. Charles Murray, that's the bell curve. That's the author of the bell curve. Thank you. Right. This is some weirdo stuff, y'all. I understand being frustrated with other black people, mad at other black people, but to the point where you let a white guy slide, or you don't really have the angst and the vitriol for them. We over here smiling and laughing and in their face, and we taking group pictures after they pretty much tell us that we were inconsequential in American history and played out slavery and played out Jim Crow and played out redlining. We over here kissing them on the cheek afterward. What? Why? Because he ain't say the N word. Well, he actually did say the N word. Wow. Right. Hmm. Yeah. So on that note, everybody, let me end it out here. Let me go be a son. Y'all haven't heard from me in a couple days. Mr. Z has been ripping and running. Um, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Um, I know I was supposed to do the 2000K. I said 2000K. The 2K. One day maybe it'd be 2000K. What would that be? 20,000? Yeah. Huh, that'd be dope. Um, I know I was supposed to do the 2000 celebration. We will have to reschedule that for either Sunday or Monday, probably, hopefully Sunday. That's better, probably better. Sunday of this upcoming week, and I will let y'all know. I do want to do a video later on this afternoon, possibly on what was it? Oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. Mr. Z is losing his train of thought. Is it gone? Oh, on affirmative action. No, not affirmative action. Yeah, on affirmative action and BGS's take on affirmative action, right? And y'all already heard me on BGS's panel with Nameless. I already did a video on this when we first heard that it was up for debate, um, where I lamented it, and that's as a non-ADOS person, because I understood the precedent that this would set. And just like BGS is trying to tell y'all, all right, y'all better hunker down because it's not just affirmative. You don't understand how much of your life was built off of the concept of black people, us having to pretend that we care. And there's a lot of people. I'd rather have white supremacy straight up in my face. Are you sure about that? It sounds nice when you're in your pride. Are you sure you want white supremacy straight up? No chaser. Are you sure? Because there's something to be said about somebody pretending and why they pretend and why they flick a couple of crumbs off the table. Right? There's a handful of black people that can weather that storm, that earn enough, that not only earn enough, but you're in a well-positioned situation. There's a handful. The rest of us, I don't know. So I'm planning on doing something on affirmative action. Not so much the details, just so I can rant. Right? And mind you, this is happening during stagflation, greedflation, inflation, austerity measures. Are you sure you can afford it right now? I don't know. And yes, Mr. Z knows it wasn't really benefiting black men anyway. And white women are the primary beneficiaries. Yes, Mr. Z knows all of that. Yes, of course. Right. So, all right, you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys later on this afternoon. Love, peace, and chicken grease. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Thank you for listening in. Yeah, dear young ladies that were on the panel. I I don't know. I'm trying to get into some African American history class in college. Goddamn, that might be too feminized. Can't even say that no more. Look at that. Goddamn. Um, yeah. Listen to the Black Manosphere. There you go. There you go. Listen to the Black Manosphere. That should get you up on game, right? And on that note, everyone, y'all have a great rest of your day. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I will pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and have a great rest of y'all day. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out.